There was a hilarious story making the rounds here earlier in the week, right around Christmas time, when, of course, Home Alone and Home Alone 2 are at its most culturally relevant, and they're pretty good films. They're pretty decent films. Of course, they harken back to an earlier time, something that I didn't see until much later, because the first one came out in 1990. I was not even a full year old and when it was in the cinema, and then in 1992, when Home Alone 2 came out, well, of course, I think you can run the numbers and do the math on that one. But I've always had a fondness for the Home Alone movies, mostly because I think probably that year, probably that Christmas, I got the little Kevin McCallister doll. Okay, he was in his red jumper and he had the drawstring on the back and he had like 5 different phrases from the films. It was great. I had that forever. It might actually still be at my parents' place. One of those old 90s kids thing you wouldn't understand if you weren't one. But, of course, in recent years, I've become more aware of them because the Home Alone films, they were always kind of in the zeitgeist. Like, you always associated them with the slapstick comedy of Daniel Stern, Joe Pesci at the end, Macaulay Culkin obviously cut his teeth on this and never again ended up reaching those heights. My personal favorite Macaulay Culkin film was Richie Rich, but we can talk about that stuff at another date. But obviously, his two biggest successes being Home Alone and Home Alone 2, and recently also catching some coverage from EFAP, shout out to them, of course. Their big Christmas EFAP movies was Home Alone 2. And yeah, for the first time in a long time, because I'm pretty sure that I've seen this. I'm pretty sure that this is the one that I've seen. The first one, not quite as familiar with it, but getting to see Home Alone 2 Lost in New York with some jokes being played over the top, it was a fun watch. It was a really fun watch. And then, of course, you throw in number 45 over the top, and of course it's going to elicit some responses, some hilarious responses. And of course, man, it's like this was Trump probably at the height of his powers in the early 90s when he was running the show, man. Like he was on top of his game in New York, in Atlantic City, at Trump casinos. He was running the Trump real estate empire. He was a pop culture icon, and he was all the way through until the 2000s, till it came out that, I'm considering running for president on the Republican ticket. Oh, well, we can't be having that now. So one of the most famous cameos of all time, and I'm not even just saying that as a Trump supporter, as somebody who thinks that Trump is that guy, like him giving Macaulay Culkin directions in his Plaza Hotel, like that's one of the most famous one-liners ever in a film. I don't think that I'm underselling that or overblowing it. It just is what it is. And now, of course, I just let sleeping dogs lie, because if you remember, okay, like there was cuts that were being made and stupid international releases, and of course it had to be stupid Canada. I'm embarrassed by this place on a daily basis, but CBC edit of Trump scene from Home Alone 2 was done in 2014. Oh guys, just because it only went to air in 2019, they cut Donald Trump out of Home Alone 2. Why would you do that? Oh, we did it for running time. Are you kidding me? Come on, man. Of all of the scenes that you cut, you knew that one was going to get the most attention. You knew that there would be no drawback, because for the first time in a long time, people would actually be talking about the CBC and something and that its programming entailed. Like, come on. CBC confirmed Thursday it deleted a scene featuring Donald Trump from the movie Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, but the broadcaster says it occurred before he became president. It's not politically motivated. Why would it happen before he became president? Okay, what? In 2015 it was made, 2014, so before he announced his candidacy, his proper candidacy, because he ran sort of in 2012, kind of. He flirted with the idea a little bit beforehand, running as a libertarian, some kind of a goofy ticket over there, but it just so happened that it got cut in a few years beforehand. Like, come on, man, absolutely ridiculous. And then, of course, like, that was the biggest controversy surrounding that, until this dropped a little bit earlier in December, and it came from a reasonably reliable source. I didn't believe it at all, mostly because, well, we're some 31 years after the original Cameo, and we never heard anything about this beforehand, and anybody who's ever worked with him in an entertainment or a creative capacity has nothing but great things to say about him. Just go and talk to some of those old wrestlers who were working either WrestleMania 4 and 5 or WrestleMania 23. You have nothing but great things to say about working with Trump. But no. All of a sudden, okay, just at the point in time where everybody's starting to go, hey, you know what, 2024, it's probably going to be the return of the king now, isn't it? Okay, isn't this supposed to be Act 3 of this 3-act structure? And then now all of a sudden, okay, we need to say that Orange Man bad. Very original, Chris. If you spent your Christmas holidays binge watching the Home Alone franchise, why would you do that to yourself? Because there's something like 6 movies in that quote-unquote franchise now, but there's only 2 films. Like, come on now. On Disney Plus, oof, God, why would you still be subscribed to Disney Plus? What's wrong with you? Then you probably stunned to see the familiar off-white dome of former President Donald Trump wandering through the New York City's Plaza Hotel lobby. Why? That's his place. He owns it. At the beginning of Home Alone 2. It's not quite at the beginning, but it's not that far. It's still in the first act. There's a scene where Kevin asks him for directions, and Trump does a double take before giving them to him. Yes, it's right back here. Okay, Kevin, you're a smart kid. You're a smart kid. And I think if you work on your direction capabilities, you'll be an even smarter man. You got a bright future ahead of you. In a new interview with Business Insider, Home Alone 2 director Christopher Columbus, and he also, I think he did definitely the first 2, and arguably the 2 worst Harry Potter films. I'll stand by that. The Philosopher's Stone sucks, and Chamber of Secrets is an abomination. Things turn around a little bit for Prisoner of Azkaban. I'm a bit conflicted on that one on any given day, but then they precipitously go upwards, in my opinion, on that. I just can't get over the time turner contrivance. Anyways, Columbus has finally explained the baffling cameo. It's not baffling, but this is Rolling Stone after all, and they are commie trash. Basically, he says Trump, who then owned the Plaza Hotel, refused to let the crew film there unless he gave them a small role in the film. Sure, I'm sure that's the way that was presented. According to Columbus, the crew approached the Plaza Hotel for permission to shoot in the iconic lobby. You're also in New York City, so you have to get permits for literally anything, so you couldn't just go up there and go, hi, we're here with Warner Brothers, and we would like to film in your hotel if it's not too much of an inconvenience. It's like, yeah, the Plaza Hotel, one of the most famous hotels in the most famous city on earth in the early 90s. Yeah, we just like to do this. In addition to demanding a standard fee, of course, he reportedly said this of Trump. Okay, the only way you could use the plaza is if I'm in the movie. Which would have been a big boon at the time, because Trump is still, even though he is now, probably even has a higher profile, like invariably does. He was a certified pop culture icon in the early 90s. Okay, so this could have only been a benefit for your film. So we agreed to put him in the movie. And then when we screened it for the first time, the oddest thing happened. People cheered when Trump showed up on screen. Yeah, because he's him. He's always been him, Columbus told Business Insider. So I said to my editor, I'll leave him in the movie. It's a moment for the audience. But he did bully his way into the movie. Yes, of course. So that was making the rounds for a couple of days. And I was wondering, well, is Trump going to take the bait? Okay, is he going to go ahead and do anything about this? And, well, a couple of days later, well, good old Trump decided to lay down some hot fire, spit some hot fire after spending time with his gigantic 6'9" son. Yo, what happened to Barron? I remember the acceptance speech in 2016 with the kid who just looked a little bit sleepy offside the podium when Trump won the presidency. Got that concession call from a drunken, tearful Hillary Clinton in the middle of the night. Sorry to keep you waiting, folks. Complicated business. Little Barron was right over there, and now looks like he's prepping for a role to go ahead and play the body double for Nikola Jokic. Like, what the hell is going on over there? What are they feeding that mammoth? Oh man, pick up a combat sport. You'll be undefeated. Anyways, Trump claims Home Alone 2 producers begged him to be in the film, and his cameo helped make the movie a success. After the director claimed he bullied his way into an on-screen appearance. Yeah, this is hilarious. Former President Donald Trump, former and future, claimed Wednesday that Home Alone 2's director and producers begged him to appear in the holiday movie and boasted that he would make it a hit. Home Alone 2's director Christopher Columbus said in an interview with Business Insider on Sunday, so I guess they dropped on Christmas, that's cool, that Trump had made his cameo part of the deal in order for the production to use the Plaza Hotel. Well, that's awfully pretty nice, which he owned at the time. In a Truth Social post on Wednesday, so a few days later, Trump said it was the other way around. 30 years ago, how time flies, director Chris Columbus and others were begging me to make a cameo appearance in Home Alone 2. I was very busy, very, very busy. I had a lot of things to do, but, I was being kind at the time, and I did want to do it. They were very nice, but above all, persistent. They wouldn't let me go. They wouldn't take no for an answer, and I like that when it comes to a negotiation. That's what we do here, okay? You do what I like to call the term that I coined, the big ask, because you ask for everything that you want up front. And you know what? They had cameras rolling, and I couldn't say no, folks. I agreed, and the rest is history. The 1992 film starring Macaulay Culkin. Culkin's character, Kevin McCallister, asked Trump for directions in the lobby of the Plaza after boarding the wrong plane and ending up in New York instead of Miami with his family. That was the most jarring thing in watching back that film, okay? Just how weird Miami looks in the early 90s as compared to the bustling pseudo-metropolis as it is right now. Not a lot of, let's just say the Grand Theft Auto 6 Vice City parody of Miami, not exactly the way that it was characterized in the early 90s. A lot of rain, a lot of neon, very closer to Scarface without any of the glitz and the glamour of the Copacabana. I think is that a fair assessment? Okay. But Trump continues with this truth post, of course, and you know what? Why not read it? Why not read it in trademark Trump voice? Because that's fun. It's always going to be fun. That little cameo took off like a rocket. It just went up into the sky. Big explosion, lots of lights in the sky. You should have seen it. It was wonderful. And the movie was a big success. It still is, especially around Christmas time. It is a Christmas movie. It's one of my go-tos because it's not because I'm in it. It's just because it's a really great movie. It's a big hit, actually. That's what people tell me all the time. People call me whatever it's aired. Now, however, 30 years later, Columbus, was that his real name? You know, this dude actually put that in there. You tried to name check him? Oh, Lord. Put out a statement that I bullied myself. I don't have to bully myself. People love me. I was around. They just wanted me in all the time. It's crazy. Nothing could be further from the truth. The Cameo helped make the movie a success. But if they felt bullied or didn't want me, then why did they put me in? And why did they keep me there for 30 years, except for that stupid commie CBC up north? I can't believe that they would do anything for all the things that they could cut. Why would they cut me? It made the movie a big success. But because I was, and still am, great for the movie. That's why. Just another Hollywood guy from the past looking for a quick fix of Trump publicity for himself. Yo. I think the next stop for Christopher Columbus isn't going to be Hollywood. It's going to be the burn ward. But for all the pseudo outrage that Trump was dealing with over the holiday season, okay, because yeah, that family photo that I was alluding to earlier, there you can obviously see the skyscraper in the back, who, yeah, a lot of people have pointed out, Barron was back there, you know, on the 25-foot tree. He didn't even need a stepladder in order to put the angel on top of it. But there's a little family photo that's there, okay, Don Jr.'s there, all of his kids, Kimberly Guilfoyle, you got Ivanka, and regrettably Jared Kushner, Tiffany's there, the little boys and all that stuff. Eric must have been somewhere else. Him and Lara must have been, you know, somewhere else. Okay. But somebody who's notably absent is, of course, Melania. Where's Melania? Are they having troubles? Oh my God. We've heard a bunch of things throughout the year, and a bunch of people, including a whole host of Ron DeSantis surrogates, which, I don't know, do you guys need like a bigger bucket to go ahead and try to bail all the water out of that sinking ship? Like you're in single digits at this point, and all your big money donors are just heading over to Nimrata. But more on that in the new year. Okay, we can worry about that then. But Melania was looking after her ailing mother, Amalaja. Yeah, she's 78 during, Mar-a-Lago Christmas celebrations, and missed the family photo under the tree. Yeah, for as much as they want to say, oh my God, there was a marital strife with Trump. Didn't you hear that? Oh my God, one of his most famous cameos was actually, you know, it was just him being a bully, and now, oh, I guess Melania's finally done with all of his bullying ways. No. He was just like Trump, being very philanthropic with her time, taking care of her ailing mother, while Don himself was out there dealing to an ailing and aging filmmaker. One's out of compassion, and one's out of justice, if you will. With all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.